Hello, boys and girls. This is Angel Malus here, and this is the episode. Well, it's not an episode. Um, my friend SweetJebus, he said he just collected a spawner in his Let's Play for Tekkit Lite, and it was a cave spider spawner. And he just messaged me and told me that it seems like turtles cannot kill it and collect the those little things that you need for Minium stones. What is it called? These Minium shards. So yeah, I tested out, and yeah, now turtles that kill mobs, they don't collect that. So I ended up making this little thing because I still think turtles are still useful. So I made this little contraption here in order for us to get those Minium shards that we need. Now I'm still using turtles, as you can see, and I'm gonna explain you guys how to do this. This one is a special one. This one is a sensor turtle, and if I click on it, you see it has a proximity sensor card, and I'll teach you guys how to do that. You don't really need much. You basically here it is. You basically you're gonna start making a computer, and for that you need the glass panels. So you just grab some of that, and then you need a chest too, and then you make your computer. Here we go. And then with the computer, the chest, and the irons, we can make a turtle. And then with some obsidian, the redstone, and the stone. And this is actually pretty cool, this plans, because if you're missing some, it will show you how many you're missing. So it's actually pretty cool. And then you can just put it there and grab it, and it will grab inventory from here. And then there we go. And then we're gonna need some pressure plate for the sensor. And there you go. You put the turtle, you put the sensor, and then you will get a center turtle. It doesn't really matter what side you put it; it's always gonna end up being on the right side of the turtle. So it's okay. But you can put it on top or above. You have to put it on the side, but it will always be like on this on the right side. Anyway, you grab your sensor turtle. And last but not least, we're gonna make the proximity sensor card. This is a Mark 1, which means it doesn't really reach that far, but really we're gonna put the turtle next to it, so it's no big a deal. And then if anything, you need a monitor and stuff like that, but those are easy to make. You guys can do them pretty easy. And if you guys are curious about this little plants over here, I'm sure you have seen indigo flowers everywhere. So if you collect that and mix it with a paper, you get a blank plan, and then you just put it here and press this button, and it gets imprinted. So now if you have it down here and you put this on up here, it will be like a shadow of whatever you had, and then you can just grab it from here. You can keep grabbing as long as you have inventory. Okay, so anyway, I made a little program over here. It's gonna run a startup, and it's gonna start counting. And this one over here is a crusher. So this one are glass panels. They're cut with red power to microblocks, or what do you call this? This one's over here. This one's, yeah, microblocks. So they're the smallest one, and I just use the smallest one just so we can like move it. Then I put some lights around this. Everything is goes around with just cabling, and that one is right above the spawner. So if you turn this on, it will deactivate the spawner completely. Each of these lights is facing like right directly to the spawner. Now the spawners are really interesting thing. Let's say perhaps I'm gonna go into creative. And I'm gonna build like a big cube over here representing a spawner, just so you guys can kind of get the idea, because I see a lot of people still making mistakes. So let's say this is a spawner, right? You go to F3, and when you're facing east, over there, where the sun rises, I believe, and you can see it like around here. You see F3 direction east. Can you guys see it? When you're facing that, then you have to face the spawner that way, like that. And this bottom part of the spawner right here, that would be your origin of the block, because the block doesn't count as a 1 by itself. It counts from here. So from here to all the way here, it's already past 1 block. So from the origin of the spawner, or each spawner, we're gonna count 4 blocks away. So it will make 4 blocks this way, it will make 4 blocks this way, but it will only make 3 blocks this way. 1, 2, 3, because this is already 1 block right here, this big thing. So I hope I made it kind of clear. I hope it's not confusing for you guys. But of course it's not a 3 by 3, right? It's just this corner right here, like this one right here. That's the origin. So from that corner you count 4 blocks out. So 4 this way, 4 this way, and 3 this way, because that corner just to get there is 1 space, and obviously 3 that way. So that is the spawning area, and then you can build your walls around here, and of course all over this place. Now another thing, the spawners is that they will spawn on these areas. They will spawn monsters below it, above it, side of it, and on top of it. Oops. So this is the spawning area, so you gotta like clear this area. And now some mobs like zombies and skeletons and stuff, you need 2 free blocks to be able to spawn them. But cave spiders, in the case of SweetJebus, and I'll put a link to his channel for sure, cave spiders will only need 1 block space. So if you wanna, and it needs to be above. So let's say if you're doing like skeleton or zombie, the legs will spawn in here, and so it needs a space up here. So this one gets automatically cancelled if it's a zombie or a skeleton. But a cave spider can spawn in here. They also can spawn up here, and if you just put a block up there like this, a zombie or a skeleton will not be able to spawn there, to spawn in here in this area, because that block is blocking the spawning area. So a lot of the people puts a block right above the spawner. That's okay, because you're actually taking away that part, but you can also do this, and it will actually cover it well. What I like to do is actually grab one of these lightings and stuck it in there, and since I'm not gonna use anything above the spawner, I can just make it all the way to the roof. Now if you're spawning something else like zombies or skeleton, you need 2 spaces, so your roof has to be like all the way up here just for them to spawn. But since this is cave spiders, your roof can be like down here, and it's better to cover that because you don't want the spider to be stuck there. Now all this area is gonna be available for us to spawn monsters, and below it, if you're spawning like if you want to drag the mobs away, it's better to give like 2 spaces just so they pass under it, like if you're moving them with water or with something else. But also a very important thing is for like XP farms and stuff, you want to make the spawners spawn a lot of mobs. The mobs will not spawn if there is mobs of the same type 6 blocks under or 8 blocks further away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So as long as there is a mob in this area of the same type over there, actually more than 6, If it's all the way inside here, maybe there's like a spider chilling around here, and then another one here and another one here. That will decrease the spawning rate, so you really need to get them away from the spawner as soon as possible. Now if you want to make them drop, which is another option, you can make a like a pitfall drop and have 6 spaces, so 1, 2, 3, and you get the idea. You gotta just drop them down and catch them with water or something that doesn't hurt them, because we want to get them as full of energy as we can, so the cruncher can work. Otherwise it's going to be killing everyone. So yeah, the thing of the spawners, you always face west. This is the origin. You do at 8 by 8, 4 on this side, 4 on this side, 3, 3, and then the center, which is not going to be exactly on the center. As you guys can see, is not perfectly centered. It's, you see, it has 4 spaces here, 4 spaces here, 3 and 3, and that's why I put it like that. That is the most efficient way to get a spawner running. Now since I'm getting them away from it, I already have like a distance for 8 or so. Now how do you transport cave spiders? They're really hard to move. So what I'm doing is actually having just a water channel. I'm gonna grab this little bucket over here, and I'm gonna grab slabs, and stairs work also, so we can trade with both. So I'm gonna need something on the side. So let's say the water comes and it's just 1 block, so we're gonna have to move them. Better get glass so we can see. So we can move them like that. Put the spider there and it's gonna be pushed this way. But then it finished here. When it finishes here, we want to put a sign right above there, and then stone brick slab or whatever, and then we're gonna continue a level higher. Obviously you can make them drop later on, etc, etc, but continuing the level higher, you just put this, and you can see the water actually keeps on moving that way. So if you put something in there, like if I'm not moving, it keeps moving. I'm not sure, I think it works at yeah, most of the mobs are like this. So you want to give them the cave spiders just a little space to move like that, and that way you can get them out of there. Now the thing that I did in the middle there is I just selected a space. I mean, I could do 1 hole, but then if they get bumped to each other and stuff like that, they can get stuck. So I did a 4 by 4, and what I did to move them in one direction was under this I put water this way and then water that way, like that. So this water comes this way and goes down, but I put signs on here, sign on here, and then water this way, so the water keeps pushing. Now that way you can get them to move in one way, and you can do the trick of the this step or whatever. You can see the water coming from behind, moving 1 step up, just so I can have the level with the ground, etc, etc. And then over here, what you need to do, because the spiders will tend to climb, don't let them come outside this area. Just where the water stops, don't put it in there, put it outside. See, if I put it there, the whole block disappears. So you gotta put it like outside here, so the spiders get stuck with the water. And I use panels just because it was way too bulky. If you use like the whole block like that, it's just immense. I think panels look more neat, more clean. and they use less material too. Now make sure to put it in the right direction because they will come out. If let's say you just put it there, it can stop the water, but it will not stop the spiders. And make sure to not put it on the area where the spiders are coming through. So all these are using the block away from it, but just a little part, and you can still see it. And I use them here also, so I can get really close to the action. And another thing I did was I added this door, and I can open this door here, and I can come and check. See, but that doesn't affect the lights. Now if I turn this off, spiders will maybe start spawning, but if I open the door, immediately turns everything on, regardless if this is on or off, right? But if I have this on, it will not turn on the door because I'm turning on the door directly with that block, which is not getting powered, etc, etc. I mean, it's pretty easy, you guys can see. Now to the good part. I'm gonna go into, let's start getting away from peaceful, and let's just start the rock and roll. So turning that off, it should start spawning some spiders, as you can probably see. Now, as I told you guys, the spiders will tend to climb much more if there's another spider pushing it out. So the spider will start coming down, and if we stand around here, it's a good area for the spawner to kind of keep dropping spiders. So you see, because those spiders are away, a lot more can keep spawning. And since nobody's bothering them or anything, they just kind of tend to follow the flow. The water is actually everywhere, so on this setup over here, I'm just gonna close it and show you guys how I set up the water. It's pretty easy. The way that I set up the water is simply put water in the four corners. It kind of goes in the middle, and then I just open the middle like that. And then to stop the water from going inside, I use I didn't use panels. I mean, you can use whatever you want that it works, that doesn't stop the spider. I just use cover strips. They're pretty simple. And I put one there and then one above, one there and one above. And it doesn't stop the spiders from going in, as you can see them there. And you see, everyone is being happy there. Now, this guy over here has a program that I set up. That was just testing. But it will keep telling you how many spiders are there. Now, I didn't make it exactly on this block, so it kind of will tell you how many spiders are all the way from here to up there, as long as the sensor is. If you give them a bigger sensor, a Mark II, Mark III, whatever, then it will actually count spiders from all over the place, even from the spawning area. So it's kind of okay to have the Mark I because it's kind of relatively small. It's just like 4 or 5 blocks away. So that is it for like all this fancy spiders over here. I noticed that if you actually have normal blocks instead of these glass panels, they actually start to climb up. But I don't want to open that right now because they do jump away pretty far. So it's counting around 12, which is not much. I mean, you wanna end up killing like, I don't know, 50 at least, 100. And that turtle would just stay there and keep counting. This one over here, since it cannot kill them to give you the shards, we're going to be using a program inside here called Crush. And what Crush does is it pushes this out, which technically it should put those spiders up here, and then it crushes them. And then it returns the crush right before hitting them, and then they're just one hit kill, so you just one hit kill them, but the bottom one's still down up here. And then you return over here and press enter, and it will let more spiders come in. So let's do that, and hope you can see it. You see, sadly, I'm not sure if anyone's gonna die. Oh, perfect, you see? I pushed that down there and then leave it down so we can come up here and just poke them around. Just see one hit with just one hit with the hand. And if we're lucky enough, we get our so wanted shard of Minium. And you see that's down there, so you just come to the turtle again and it says press enter to open, so you just press enter and it will reset itself. You know, you need to do again is just type crush. I do ls, but you can also do dir to see the directory. And there we go, starting again with 1, and we have our shards of Minium on hand. And I guess this is a cool way to do it. Still with turtles, still very techy. You know, you disable the spawner like that instead of putting torches and stuff like that. You use the red powered blocks. Now the nice part, for this program to work, you just need to put the turtle anywhere and the monitor should go under it. Now I'm gonna stop it and I'm gonna show you the program real quick. It's called startup in here. Oh, and yeah, you need to put the sensor card on the slot 16 right in the corner, or otherwise it's gonna get mad. And that is actually just how it works. Edit startup. This is the name that it's gonna look for. So if you change this for like skeletons or zombie or whatever, it will look for that name. So you can even put just a piece of the name. Maybe I don't think so. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. I think I changed it, but it's fine. And then it just this is for the monitor. So if you want to change the monitor from another side, like you want to put it on top of the turtle or something, you put it top here or right or left. It depends on the turtle. And then this is just a loop, while true means that it's always gonna do it. And then it's gonna clear the monitor, put the cursor on top, and then just type whatever it is. Then it's gonna get the targets, which is every single player and mob around you. And then here it is. If it finds the name on the name, if it finds the name cave, then it's gonna count it as one. And probably I'm gonna get rid of those print screen because they can probably get confusing. And you do this to comment off something. I'm just gonna go there. There you go. And then it says the cursor position, and then it waits a little bit. So what I'm gonna do with this for all you guys is put it on pastebin. So pastebin put startup, and there you go. If you guys want the program, you can definitely just download it. MMBX4W2W, and you don't even need to put like caps and whatever. It will actually do it for itself. So you can just download it as pastebin get MMBX4W2W, and then name it startup, whatever. One very important thing for this thing is the turtle has a name. You see, if I type ID, I just put verb, whatever. You'd have to set up an ID or a name for the turtle, otherwise it's not going to remember it. So label set monitor counter, whatever you want to call it. So the turtle name is going to be monitor counter. So you have to set up a name in order for the turtle to survive a reset or something. Okay, so you do that, and then you can download your pastebin code and put the monitor wherever you want, and it's going to count mobs of whatever type that you give it. That would actually also work with your your startup. with your name if you want, but I mean it's kind of useless because it will just tell you how many of you are there. But if you guys want to jump into a little bit of the code, is start up. You see it says this one, I'm out of range, I'm in range, out of range. So you can see from where it actually starts counting. I'm not gonna save that because it's not gonna go to the pastebin anyway. And this one over here, a pretty simple selection. This is actually the time that it's exactly before the spiders die. One more little bit of time, and then they will kill them. So this is just to leave them to one hit. And I'm just gonna go ahead and do this because this. Let's see actually how many spiders we have. Maybe I made a mistake here. Let's put this as fine. Make it easier for you guys. So name right here is actually the name that is getting from the target, and then find over here is the variable that it's going to be on top. So find is just going to be the cave. You can put skeleton or SK and or slime or whatever you want. Okay, let's see how many are there. There are just 24. They're already crunched, and all we need to do is just come and poke them a little bit. And obviously I mess it up. Okay. So this one is pretty clear. This is just to clear the terminal. It sends some messages. This is the important part over here. Sets the output to true. That's the bottom. So basically it powers this block over here, and this block only powers this. And then it stays for 4 seconds. Well, 0.4 seconds, not half a second, less than a second. And then it prints crushing, and that's basically just to give the chance to the spiders to actually come. It gives a chance to the spiders to actually jump above if they're kind of glitching or whatever. And then it will crush them right here, front, which power this piston, and it will go ahead and crush them. And then it will sleep or wait for such a time, such as the one we have above 5.5, and then it will take it off, and just the top part, the front, and then the command to wait for enter is just this one, read. I'm not actually sending it to anything. You can actually type whatever and then press enter. That's how you get inputs into your program. And then it just sets the bottom to false, and then it clears the screen and sets the cursor on top. Pretty simple. It's just a sequence kind of thing. So I'm gonna put this on pastebin too. Put crush, and there you go. That is your pastebin code. HHcLckawpa. And yeah, all you do is pastebin get that, and then you put it a name. It's pretty easy. Even if you just do this, you can see it will tell you how to do it. Pastebin get code and then the file name. And since I did modify this one, let me post it again. No. Put startup. There we go. EFF33KHC. There we go. And that will be like a little better option. where you can actually change this, and then and you already know how to change the monitor side. This is the side of the monitor. Okay, so I guess that will be it. I hope it's not too long, as I usually have to make them. I don't know why. I talk too much maybe, but I hope it helps. Jebus, if you're still struggling with that spawner, I hope the turtles can still help you to get your Minium shards. And this is Madu signing off. See you later. Bye bye.